Hello, friend. Fernando Ramirez, bilingual entrepreneur, here with you today. As you can see the screen, it's talking about something that will allow you to understand what industry we're in. So we're going to talk about the 7 basic skills that will make you great in our industry. I've actually been in business for myself since January of 1994. Previous to that, I was a plumber, handyman, working alongside my dad, being my boss. Obviously, he didn't treat me like I was his son while we were at work. He treated me like just any other employee. So I never wanted to perceive my dad as being my boss, working so many hours per week. But he was a good mentor of mine, which led me in the right direction to be responsible. I started working with him at the age of 17 and a half. Experienced working a job responsibly because I became a father at the age of 18 years. But I was always open and receptive to endeavors that can deviate me from the purpose of working a job where I can enjoy my time freedom. So, in any work responsibility that you have, whether it's your own business or working for someone else, you need to understand that it requires skills, it requires a mindset. Again, I was so sick and tired of working a job, having to wake up to an alarm clock every single day, having to meet work responsibilities, dropping off kids to school, and things of that nature. It becomes so robotic. It doesn't allow you to think outside the box because you're so caught up in work and family responsibilities. So, once again, Fernando Ramirez, bilingual entrepreneur. Our goal is to empower diversity. And what you're about to learn today is the skills of our tremendous industry, which is the network marketing industry. And once you really put your hands into it and you do it appropriately, you'll be able to enjoy what I have been able to enjoy since January of 1994. Took a pause and a leave of absence in December of 2004, where I did extremely well. I achieved ranking positions very high because I learned the skills of what you're going to learn today, but I had to start over again. Okay, put my life back in order in December of 2004. So 5 years of experience in a fall, which dropped my credit score down to a 430. It got me out of business. So I went through an incredible experience to let you know that the reasons why I was so devoted and committed ended up deviating me from the purpose of my reason why I started in the business world, which is family time. And that's basically what was very contradicting. I got busy working too many hours in my previous business endeavor that it deviated the purpose of family principles. So 5 years of starting over has allowed me now to appreciate the industry and what we're in today. Because of what I went through, it opened up a door for me. So one opportunity leads into a temporary challenge and a temporary defeat until you find something that can collaborate with helping you overcome what got you to take that setback. So pay very close attention to what you're about to hear. We're going to start moving forward with our information of today. And I want you to know that our industry isn't perfect. It's only better, right? So we learned this from leaders, from experts. As a matter of fact, one of the books that I read, re-engaging back in the industry, was Go Pro. I bought that book a few years ago when the book came out. I also have had the opportunity to learn from another book, which is the How to Master the Art of Selling, Think and Grow Rich, and many books that have allowed me to be who I am today in our industry. So our industry isn't perfect. It's only better. See, most people usually start naming things they don't want. So a lot of us, when we have a traditional paid job, we start to name the things that we don't like about our job and take notes and really analyze where you are today with your job. And if you're not fully satisfied, this is probably why. Don't we always question, man, I wish what my life would be like if I didn't have a boss. That's exactly how I felt when I was working a job. What would it be like if I didn't have a boss and I was my own boss? See, we question things of that type of confusion that we have. What would it be like? And it makes us curious to know that not having a boss allows us to enjoy time freedom and to be our own boss and not having anybody squeezing us, controlling our schedules. No commute. It's another thing that I fought every single day, commuting. I hated the fact that I would have to wake up early, prepare to go drop off children to school, and then right after that, go straight to work. So that became so much of a routine that commuting was something that I didn't want to do anymore. And we think about those things. Don't you think about those things a lot of times when you're driving to work? I don't want a bus. I don't want to commute. I don't want to wake up to an alarm clock. I thought about that every single day, waking up to an alarm clock. And the reason why we need to do that is because we go to places that we don't like to go, but we have to go. No employees. How about working in an environment where there are no employees? Because a lot of the jobs that we have, employee environment with your peers and the people that you work with, sometimes it's not the best because there's some people that are negative. So being around other employees that don't have the drive to move forward, or that we can even talk about dreaming and exploring the possibilities of not having a bus, not having a commute, no alarm clock, we all complain about it, right? And no employees, no politics. It's another thing that is very conflicting. Anytime there's a conversation about politics, what happens in a job or religion, right? What happens in different beliefs of religions, the politics for us, it's always something that you see someone else being the preferred one when it shouldn't be that way. Someone else getting the pay raise when it shouldn't be that way, instead of you getting the pay raise. So there's a lot of politics involved that we don't want to be a part of, and we hate those things, don't we? No compromises. Imagine compromising to a schedule of working hours of things that you don't like to do. Now, compromising to something that you have a passion about is a different thing, but compromising to be able to just work enough hours so you get paid, and work hard enough so you get paid and you don't get fired. So we don't like the compromises that someone else puts in our agenda. Not discrimination. That's another thing that we're against, and we talk about these things all the time in what we do on a day-to-day basis. So we live, in situations that we don't want to live. No educational requirements. I mean, what educational requirement would I have to be able to experience working a great job or a great career if I didn't even graduate high school? So imagine we don't want any type of educational background check on us to see if we qualify for the job. And that's exactly what the corporate rat race is all about. It's all about the things that we don't like to experience. What is it exactly that most of us want? We want attributes. What kind of attributes do we always talk about? Using our imagination all the time, daydreaming, let's put it that way, when you have a job. And basically there's things that we have reasons why we want to change the way we do things. We want to contribute to something positive, something worthwhile, something that excites us, something that gives us the opportunity to be positive, to be in a positive environment, to be able to make a difference. What can I learn to promote? What kind of service or product do people need out there? See, we're always thinking about something positive, something that we can help others with, to be able to feel worthy of our effort, our dedication, our endurance, our enthusiasm. We think about these things all the time. I call it daydreaming because that's what I used to do a lot when I had a job. Unlimited income. Man, if I had the perfect opportunity, I like to make this amount of money. I would like to save this amount of money. I would like to make enough to be able to have enough for everything that I want out of life. We talk about those things all the time, don't we? We know that we're not where we want to be in our job. So we're always looking into this possible opportunity, which is the perfect opportunity that we all want, right? Walk away income. What if I walk away for 2 weeks? What if I walk away for a month? Do I have a walk away income, or how can I figure out a way to be able to make walk away income? Enjoy the people that you work with. I mean, I like to work with positive people that have the same type of beliefs. I like to be a community with others of dreaming big, being entrepreneurs, owning our own business, we think about these things, the kind of people that we like to associate with. Time freedom. God, what would it be like if I had time freedom? What more would I do? What causes would I contribute to? Where would I go? Where would I travel? We think about this all the time. Something mega meaningful. Man, what could definitely be something mega meaningful that I could do to be able to make a huge difference in my life and the life of other people? Personal growth. I like to see, where who I can surround myself with that can allow me to learn from them, or what book can I read, or where can I find the environment, the resources that can allow me to personal growth, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically fit, be able to balance a life of perfection, which is what we all want. We want to live better. Lots of perks. I mean, where can I find an opportunity that can allow you lots of perks, like maybe paying your automobile, an opportunity that can pay your mortgage, an opportunity that can give you some benefits in addition to what you're getting paid for, contribution to a worthy cause. I like to see possibly of an opportunity where I don't only have all the good things that I want, but I like to contribute to society somehow. And I like to see the possibilities of that happening. We talk about these things all the time. Something I can initiate, low risk. I've been working a job day in, day out. I don't have enough savings to be able to start a franchise or a corporation. Where can I find something low risk that I could start part-time in addition to what I'm doing, where eventually I can start accomplishing all my goals and dreams? A low startup cost. What opportunity can allow me to do that? Where I can start with a very minimum low startup cost, and I can start to accomplish my goals and dreams. Economy proof. I want to make sure that if something goes, bad with the economy, that I have a way to have something that can back me up with a system in place that can sustain any situation that we face through our economic crisis of any time of any year. Tax benefits. How can I get tax benefits? I don't want to pay too much taxes. What do I need to do? How do I start a business that can allow me to do that? And a business that I could enjoy and have lots of fun doing it? Well, the only thing I can tell you is our industry of network marketing. See, we're not a perfect industry, but we're a better industry that can allow you to become whoever you want to become and do exactly what you want to do, which is to live a dream life. Our industry, again, isn't perfect. It's just better. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you can actually end up doing, either one or the other. Our industry can be the highest pay or the lowest pay, and it's all up to you. This is the beautiful thing about this industry, is because it's not too much risk involved, slow startup cost. Some of us take that for granted, not knowing what, if you don't study the culture of the company that you're in, it's going to deviate you from the purpose of appreciating someone that has paid a price. See, I am involved with a business called Financial Education Services, and I respect the principles of the company. I've been doing this for 11 years and 7 months, involved with the company full time after I fell back and had to start over again. So it allowed me to appreciate our company founders. It allowed me to understand the effort that they put out to be able to build our great company that has been in business for 16 years. So understanding that the culture of what it took them, it allows me to appreciate that for almost the cost of nothing, they allow me to build my own empire. It's a beautiful thing. The thing that will make you appreciate what we have is you need the trainings until the trainings need you. So what I mean by that is, as you start a business and you start a new career, a new endeavor, you need to understand that the difference between a low pay and a high pay individual is training. Training involved, like in sports. You're going to be able to see that as we start to progress in our presentation of all the details of what it takes to become a professional. Our industry is high pay. It's a high pay industry if you learn to professionally grow your list to 10,000 potential prospects or more. You want to start to grow your list every single day. And we're going to show you exactly what you need to do, how to start with your warm list and walk away from your warm list to now the greatest list, which is the list of unlimited opportunities of people that you don't even know. that can explode your business. And you'll be able to understand how much you can reach with a warm list and how much more you can reach with a list that you don't know about, that you can start to build from scratch. So you want to be able to maximize this, and you want to give yourself enough time to grow your list. Don't think you're going to grow your list overnight. Don't think you're going to build a great reputation overnight. It's going to take you some time, consistency, and commitment. The highest paid leaders are the highest trained leaders. So you're going to have to go through a lot of training to be able to understand how to capitalize from our industry. You can't miss trainings. You can't miss meetings. It's just a part of it. When I started this industry, my mentor, my leader, taught me two important things to understand. Don't miss Tuesday night meetings and don't miss Saturday trainings. I understood that. By understanding these two components, it allowed me to appreciate the industry that I was in because I held myself accountable and I stayed plugged in. So you have to stay plugged into anything that you like to be, to see it as a profession. Anything that allows you to be that expert that you dream about being, so you can be a highly paid leader in our industry. Anywhere you go, you need to get trained to perform at a high level, to perform at the top level of the compensation plan. We're not your bosses. We are leaders looking for leaders. So we give everybody the opportunity that they deserve to have, but it's up to you if you want to run with it. And I do have expectations with the people that I associate with because I like to know if they're ready for a change. Because if they're not ready for a change, I'm not going to manipulate you for a change. I can't do that. I can only control myself. I can give you a chance, and if you cooperate with the opportunity, I can assure you you're going to be a tremendous successful leader. Let's talk about examples of training. The military training. Let's talk a little bit about that and what it takes. So, talk about the first understanding of what a military training is all about. Commanders and other leaders are responsible for training. These are people that have paid the price to be able to be where they are. And then two, non-commissioned officers train individuals, crews, and small teams. These are people that hold less responsibility to be able to train troops, but they're preparing themselves to train troops. Train as you will fight. So you got to prepare yourself to train as you will fight. Train to standard, which is the expectation of the team, the military team. Train to sustain. Conduct multi-techniton and concurrent training. So this is aggressive trainings that you're going to be exposed to. Train to develop agile leaders and organizations. So when you understand what training is all about, you're going to adapt. You're not going to question things. You're going to toughen yourself into growing with all these military training responsibilities to be able to achieve a responsible position where now you have weapons and you have to prepare to attack. You have to prepare to defend. You have to prepare to fight for your right and to fight for people's right. So when you understand your duties in the military training, you know the kind of training it will require to prepare you mentally and emotionally. How about professionals like doctors, right? Let's read a little bit about this. In order to become a doctor, a person must first complete a bachelor's degree. Then he must attend and complete 4 years of medical school. Medical students rotate through various specialties such as surgery, pediatrics, or neurology to learn about each field so they can decide which is most interest to them. So see, you have to pay a price to be able to be where you want to be. And understanding paying that price will require a lot from your end to be able to put all yourself in the training and to be able to transition yourself from unconsciously incompetent, which is not knowing exactly what's going on, to consciously incompetent, to now paying attention to the things that are going to take a lot of you to perform until you become consciously competent, because now you're correcting all the mistakes you're making, where eventually you're going to become unconsciously competent. And that's what we're talking about, how to transition from not knowing what you're doing to knowing what you're doing without even paying attention and know that you're doing a good job. That's what the industry is all about. And we're going to talk about the 7 basic skills that will make you great in what we do. So, as you can see here, skill number 1 that you need to get good at is prospecting. Understand that this is an industry, just like what we talked about right now. Inviting prospects, okay? Presenting to prospects, following up with prospects, helping prospects become clients and agents, duplicating with new agents, getting started right, promoting all events with your team. So these are 7 highly paid skills that you're going to learn about today, so you can start memorizing, you can start practicing, you can start to see where you are in the industry and what changes you'll need to adopt to be able to perform at a high level of success in what we do. Let's talk a little bit about prospecting, okay? On my little screen here, that's a beautiful thing about technology, right? As a new agent, building your list starts by putting a list of a minimum of 20 contacts. When I start working with you, is what I expect minimum. This is only to see if you're paying attention. Most immediate contacts without having a conversation about your new endeavor. You must first learn the skill of pick interest. That's one thing we're going to teach you to get good at, because we don't want you to spill the beans and share too much information where now you're not having any kind of results. See, that's the difference between an amateur and a professional in the industry. Professionals don't share information. They learn to prospect efficiently and effectively by picking interest. Picking interest is basically understanding, let me give them enough information for them to give me an opinion on what I'm doing and find out if they see what I see. And we're going to talk about that as we continue to progress in our presentation. So some of the tools that you're going to find them in your back office. You're going to go to your FES website, which is myfes.net/your username. Okay, so you go to agent login. As you access your website, you're going to put your username, and then you're going to create your password to access your back office. In your back office, you're going to go straight to training materials, and you want to watch each and one of these videos, okay, to be able to understand exactly what industry you're in, what your responsibilities are. You're going to print forms that are going to be there in your back office, your training, getting started right. Watch that video before you even print the forms. And now we're going to put every information needed for you to be able to start duplicating what we have, which is getting started right. Okay, so just to elaborate a little bit on what an entrepreneur means. Okay, just a second. The true entrepreneur is a doer, not a dreamer. So we want to make sure that you understand that, as we talked earlier today, yeah, we used to daydream when we had jobs, but now when you have the real business in your hands, you got to get started right, and you got to start filling in every detail in these documents, including your list, and you need to share your list with your expert, because your expert is going to show you how to pick interest with your prospects, so we can create that interest or curiosity in them, so that we can get them to the next step, which is the invitation. All right, so let's talk a little bit about prospecting. Expose to FES your list. Expose people, to FES your work list, okay? So expose people to FES, which is your work list. We're going to show you how to develop sales, corporate accounts, and other agencies, okay? So who do you know? I want you to think about 10 people in your list. Or think about the 21 that you're going to put on your list. Who do you know that has less than perfect credit? Let me give you some estimate numbers, okay? I've been doing this for 11 years and 7 months. Out of 10 people, you're going to find 7 that have a less than a perfect credit, and you're going to find 4 that have a horrible credit score number, okay? People that don't have a living trust or a will or powers of attorneys to leave their wishes in good hands legally. People who have debt and would benefit from a system that can show them how to pay it off. How many people do you think have debt? Out of 10, 6 or 7 have debt. Out of 10, only about 3 people have a living trust and a will. 7 don't. People in credit-related industries, who do you know that sells houses or sells or that actually qualifies people for homes, or people that are in the auto industry, banking industry, tax professionals? Who do you know? Okay, put that list together. Remember, prospecting is your first skill that you're going to learn. Who is looking for a part-time or a full-time income opportunity? Who do you know? Who do you know who is frustrated with their current career and needs a change? Who do you know that wants to become financially free? So when you start to put your list together, now you have your list, and this list you're going to share it with your expert. So we're going to show you exactly how to pick interest, and we can give you some tips right here by allowing you access to basic scripts that will at least get you where you need to be starting, but then eventually you're going to customize your prospecting as you continue to become a professional in our industry. So picking interest is very simple. Basic understanding of creating curiosity and learning to do that is a work of art. See, we make it seem so easy once we know how to do it, just like driving an automobile or like riding a bike, right? And the objective of all this is to duplicate prospecting with you. Most new agents want to share way too much information too soon, not knowing the pick interest script and internalizing it until it becomes a part of them. So we have to teach you to do things appropriately. Okay, just it's like acting, like singing. They give you scripts, but you have to internalize the script. You have to put the emotions, you have to put the feeling, you have to act the script until it becomes you. Okay, and that's basically some of the things that we're going to teach you on prospecting. So learning the skill is learning to ask key questions, pick interest and wait for a response to continue forward with the next steps, which is to invite. Another major skill to develop. Okay, so prospecting is one thing and learning to invite is another thing, because first you need to create interest in them. And if they find the information educational or curious, now you need to invite them. Okay, and the way to invite, we'll talk about that as we continue to progress. It'll be an invitation to a presentation or an invitation to one of the tools that the company gives you. The scripting and learning to internalize it is what a skillful agent does when unconsciously competent applying them verbatim. Okay, what is verbatim? It's something that you do like when driving a car. You don't have to think about it. You just do it. Okay, so when you build something and it becomes a routine, it becomes a way of being. It becomes you. It becomes spontaneous. You naturally talk about things without having to stutter or think about what you're going to say next. So we want to make sure that you learn your scripts verbatim. Now we are going to proceed with what it takes to pick interest with a few basic scripts that we talked about earlier. So let's get right into it and script call or text to people you know. This little basic script is a script that is simple. It's very friendly, communicative, or a friendly way to communicate with prospects. Move the screen here. And it goes like this. All right, so whenever you're ready to start, you can either type it, text it, send it via messenger, via WhatsApp, however you want to do it, but we're going to contact those first 20 contacts. Hello, John. Let's use John as an example. Hope all is well. How's the family? How's this? How's that? Hey, by the way, I have added you to my top 20 contact list. Top 20 contact list. I am inviting all the closest people to me to help me celebrate my grand opening on my new virtual agency. Virtual agency, right? They probably might be questioning themselves, might be asking themselves that question. Well, how does that work? Right? So would you be willing to attend? Wait for a response. They might say, congratulations, and of course, doing what? Right? And that's where everything begins there, because remember, we're asking questions to pick interest. Right now, we're prospecting. We want to pick their interest. So when we do get a response similar to this, Your response is, John, it's exactly why I want to invite you to celebrate with me and my other friends, family as well, and our company experts. Allow me to tag you in my invitation template as my guest, and I'll see you there. Simple, right? You don't have to say too much. You're creating interest. You're doing the pick interest interview, prospecting to your friends, to the people that you know, to people that like you and trust you. They're not going to go in detail and continue to ask you questions. And if they do that, hey, listen, John, it's exactly why I want to invite you to celebrate with me and my other friends, family as well, and our company experts. Allow me to tag you once again, right, in my invitation template as my guest, and I'll see you there. And make sure to tag your expert as well. So this is prospecting efficiently and effectively. And as you can see here, is at the end, all you have to say is, I'm excited to see you there, and move on to the next invite. This business is so simple. We're trying to simplify it for you so you can see that it's not hard to do. Prospecting, script call to people you don't know. Now, once you have learned to talk to your most immediate friends, family members, now you have learned to develop the skill of prospecting with people that you know. Now we have to step outside of the people that we know, and now we got to start to become like investigators, and we have to start to meet more people. Remember, you're going to build your list to 10,000 people eventually, because prospecting is a work of art. It's our number one skill in our industry. So when you meet people, all right, and if you're going to go through your Facebook friends and family, and then you're going to go meet their friends, you can easily do that because there's a friend in common there, which is you and your family member or your friend that has a Facebook account. Let's assume it's one of those scenarios where you're going to start growing your list, and you can say something like this. So before you talk to somebody, you need to find out exactly what is it that you're looking for to be able to create a connection. Okay. Hello, nice to meet you, John. I saw your profile on Facebook. I see you're in real estate. How long have you been doing it for? You see, you start to ask the questions. Wow, it looks like you know what you're doing, and I want to congratulate you on your career. See? So when you break the ice like that, it allows you to even say, so let me ask you a question. What do you like most about real estate? What do you like most about what you do? What is it that you don't like most about what you do? If there was a way that you could improve what you're doing, what would you add to your services? See, that's now a way to learn to prospect with strangers where you're not selling them anything. You're congratulating them because you took the time to look at their profile. Or someone gave me your card. You could easily say that, hey, John, I was given your card by a friend of mine. I was asking them if they knew of somebody that would be a professional selling automobiles, and they gave me your card, and I want to congratulate you for a job well done because Mary gave me great feedback from you. Would you allow me to talk to you a little bit about more about what you're doing, and maybe potentially refer you some folks that can benefit from the purchase of an automobile that would meet the criteria? And they might ask you, sure, how do you do that? What is it? Well, I actually work in an arena of financial services. Credit repair is one of the topics that we share. So we do come into contact with prospects that have less than perfect credit, but we like to pair them up with good professionals. And I thought about you. Now, what are you doing there? Okay, it's a win-win situation because they're going to go back and say, wow, I do come into contact with people that got credit problems as well. Or you can even say, listen, let me ask you a question. Out of 10 people that walk into your lot, how many of them do you think have less than perfect credit that could be potential clients of yours in the future? Well, out of 10, maybe 7, right? So you want to be able to eventually learn the skill of prospecting, meeting strangers and converting them into friends. And then again, right, prospecting, leading them into an invite to be able to get them watching information. So make sure you take the time to find out about your prospect. The more you know about them, the easier it is to move forward in opening them up by your compliments, by edifying them. You can't wiggle it here. You need to make an impression about them, knowing who they are, really. Okay, you have to really know who they are, and become an investigator. These are the things that a prospector does. They learn to become scouters, to be able to find out who people are. Remember, we are in an industry of experts, so you got to learn to develop the skill of being a good prospector. Hands-on making contacts. We normally do that where I do prospecting live, where I could contact some folks. I never fear rejection. As a matter of fact, I do have a couple of follow-ups. I will make a quick call, and I didn't do that in my Spanish presentation yesterday that I was doing on my training, but I might be able to do that today because I'm about to sign up somebody of a training that I did last week exactly like this. So I will give him a call today because I've been following up with him. Okay, and I'm going to talk to you about following up shortly. So let me see if he's able to answer. And we're about to sign him up, by the way. He owns a credit credit improvement for renters. He also works on selling automobiles online, and he travels all across the country. So I am going to follow up with him because he hasn't been able to respond me because he's been busy. But I will quickly see if I can find him here. There he is. So I'm going to give him a call right now. As you can see, I've been doing my follow-ups. So we'll do one, okay? But for time's sake, because this is being recorded and it's for everyone to keep. He might be busy. But I will follow up with him again. So he asked me to give him a call today. We didn't confirm a time. So I was just taking a shot because of training purposes.
You have reached the phone of Joey with Rent Accelerator. Sorry I'm not able to come to the phone right now, but if you can please leave me a detailed message, I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you and have a great day.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Mr. Joy Brocha, this is Fernando giving you a follow-up call. I saw your text earlier today. I did follow up a few times. It looks like we might be able to connect maybe sometime later today. You think you'll be available evening time or probably even tomorrow morning? Let me know. I will text you in a very short time so we can connect back and talk a little bit about what you and I have been talking about. All right? Take care. Blessings to you, and I'll talk to you soon. Yep, so good morning. Call me when you can, sir. So again, as you can see, prospecting, you never fear rejection. You just do it. And you contact one person, you contact another person. I remember when I started back again in business back in March of 2009, I opened up my Facebook account and I probably had a handful of friends, okay? I made 2,500 calls in my first 90 days because I had a reason why I was doing it. I was desperately needing help. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired after losing everything and not having my credit score where it needed to be. My financial affairs were just so unorganized. I went through a situation where I put my kids in financial risk. I had my reason why to do what I was doing. So I took 2,500 calls. I did 2,500 calls my first 90 days, which through the entire year of staying consistent with everything, I was able to find 24 customers and 16 agents that allowed me to open up the door. Why? Because I never fear rejection. I was rejecting my dreams. I was rejecting my family. Okay. So you got to understand that rejection, when you know that this industry is the greatest industry with low risk involved and a very small amount of money to start with, you're able to appreciate the culture of the owners, the people that really grind it and put everything in place for us. Come on. Someone saying no? Give me a break. Next opportunity or new opportunity. That's how I translate it to a new opportunity or next opportunity, right? Inviting prospects. Now let's get to the invite. We got some people that are interested. Now we got to get more in moving them towards a decision. Once your prospect is receptive and curious, move forward with the invite. Hey, John, I know your schedule and mine are pretty tight. Didn't mean to catch you off guard, but will you be available to watch a short video, or I'd like to invite you to one of our informative orientations where all the details are shared. So, how would you like to hear more about our exciting educational system? Wait for a response. Send me a link, or let me get you connected on our next Zoom presentation. Information, make sure you have your notepad ready. Would you be available sometime, say noontime, afternoon time, or evening time? After you hear the response, proceed with the invite again. If they say, well, evening time, or send me the link, well, you proceed with the invite and you keep moving forward. All right. So, John, tell me, are you available today? Which is what we talked about, right? Right here. It's exactly what I said a little while ago. Tell me, are you available today around, you can give them a time. Make sure there is a presentation. If you are inviting them to one, we talked about that. And just follow up with them in the next 24 hours once you do that, or invite them to the whatisfes.com system to add them to a follow-up funnel, which lets you know exactly what they have watched, how far they have gone through the information, and you can see exactly if the invite is moving them forward into the next step. Okay, so you want to invite them to your tools, what is FES, what is uses, or to a Zoom presentation. Keep growing your list and continue to move forward with the basic system, doing it and duplicating it with your key leaders who become highly trained. You must eventually grow your list using the prospecting and inviting system. As you can see what we've done so far, the basics won't change. Adapt them to whatever industry they're in. So if I'm going to talk to a realtor, I will adapt it to a realtor. If I'm going to talk to a housewife, I'm going to adapt it to a housewife. If I'm going to talk to someone that does Uber, I will talk to them their language. So you want to be able to customize. When you know how to prospect and you become a pro prospecting, inviting folks to be able to look at some information, it's amazing how magical it becomes, just like the phone call I made, fearlessly, because I know exactly what I'm doing. I've been living off of this, and these are basically the systems the company give you. They give you these platforms to be able to put them in the funnel. It's all systematic. And the cool thing about these tools that we have is that it's amazing to see that for only $14.99 and you refer 5, now you got systems, you got funnels where you're piling up all these contacts to be able to create a follow-up system where you can hold them accountable through the entire process until we get them into a presentation. So if we're not able to get them to a presentation, we'll use the tools, but presenting is the highest skill in the industry, where pros make big money. And we're talking about sales directors and above, right? So I want you to understand that to become a sales director, it only means you have done enough work. You have built a list of prospects many times over again, maybe, and have been through the process of the hard hits, of the hard knocks of the system, learning and not missing trainings and presentations, making sure you're committed, and also finding your team that is committed to come and do the business with you in terms of prospecting, inviting, presenting, prospecting, inviting, presenting. That's the key to this business. That's the nature of this business. And you can't get desperate. That's the problem with a lot of folks that don't get trained. They get desperate. They get so attached, so emotionally attached to the outcome. There's no control of the outcome of people. If you're doing it right, it's only a process, like a baseball player, right? They know they got to do 10 potential batting averages where they could get 3 hits, and 3 hits to 4 hits pay you millions of dollars. A sales director now drives the force of the system, being the biggest income earner fearlessly. That's amazing, guys. See, understanding our industry allows you to create so much leverage. You're no longer worried about anything, right? You master your presentation. You go to your back office. You download your presentation, English and Spanish. We have them in both languages. We are FRBE, Financial, Fernando Ramirez, Bilingual Entrepreneur, Empowering Diversity. So we're trying to attract all kinds of people in our teams. Right now we got English and Spanish, and eventually I want to be able to see other languages here in our back office. So it's up to us to be able to grow a humongous business. Um, that was the FES presentation. This is the uses presentation. You go to your uses website, activate your services. We're not going to get in detail about that, but you're going to go download the presentation. As much as you want to understand the FES platform PowerPoint presentation, you also want to be able to understand the uses presentation and start mimicking your sales director. Start practicing your presentation, downloading it in your computer and your phone so you can continue to practice until you achieve your ranking position of sales director and more. How to expose financial education services. Become great at exposing while you learn to become great at explaining. Okay, so this is basically you as a new agent starting. All right, we're building your list because they trust you and they like you. So we're going to do the prospecting with them just the way we've trained you to do it. We're going to do the invite with them, just we're training you to do it. Once we do the invite, now we're going to do the follow-up, which is the next step of what we're going to talk about here. And we're going to show you how to edify your expert. You got to team up with your expert. If you're not an expert yet, you need to team up with one. So following up with your prospects, okay? So let's talk a little bit about that. This is the maximum execution of applying your closes, okay? And if you're not a sales director, you don't know how to close yet, you have to remain a student until you learn from your sales director on how to close the business. So the fortune is in the follow-up, as you saw me do that just now. And as soon as a presentation is finished, following up is essential. A must to get their questions answered and proceed to close if you're a sales director. And if not, you need to 911 your sales director and let them know you got your prospect ready in the next hour or two. Don't call them up trying to say, hey, I got my prospect here. You got to set up the appointment. You got to edify the sales director well so your prospect is curious to talk to them. Edification. John, I'm calling you back to help you get your questions answered with my mentor, Mr. or Mrs. Sales Director, Regional Sales Director, Executive Sales Director, Vice President, etc., who has tremendous knowledge and expertise. Would you be ready in the next hour or two to be able to book a three-way call? Simple. All right. That's how you do it. So following up is tremendous after a presentation. So helping prospects become clients or agents. We have the Pro Starter training. And here's the difference between the Pro Starter training and the no training. No training, it's not going to get you too far. And you don't want to start there. You want to start at the Pro training level, which is high speed, implementing everything that we're teaching you today, taking the time to watch this video, and also making your investment of your agency, your services, and including your what is FES tool and what is uses to start having all the materials to move forward as fast as possible to the top. So just training is the people that I work with. I don't work with no training. If you don't want to get trained, you don't qualify to work with me. And that's exactly what our experts have learned. They've been taught to be able to work with people that want to get trained. Okay. Remember, we talked about the military. We talked about being a doctor. Imagine how much training it requires to be where they are or to achieve what they achieved. Okay, so our FES success system, what it will teach you, it's going to teach you how to establish corporate accounts. We're going to teach you how to sell a protection plan efficiently and effectively. We're going to teach you how to establish a substantial team of agents, how to manage a nationwide organization, how to understand and maximize the compensation plan, how to build a long-term residual income, how to become a successful FES leader, and how to have the right kind of mindset and attitude for success. This is what we're all about, guys. We're not playing any games. This is a serious career, and I've lived through from this career for 11 years and 7 months, and I am very honored and appreciative to God for this great opportunity. I mean, every day that I wake up, guys, it's a dream come true. If you only knew, preparation has everything to do with the opportunities you're able to find. So preparation meets opportunity, and don't ever forget that. All right, so helping prospects become clients and agents. So let's talk about now the duplicating aspects, right? This is duplication, which is what we'll be talking about right now. We're almost done. So the same thing you have learned so far is what you're going to teach your agents. You're going to teach them about their personalized website, their online sales tracking system. You're going to teach them about the agent and customer support system, access to professional marketing materials. You're going to teach them all that, how they get paid weekly, and we're going to walk you through this. So once I sit down with my agent, I do this follow-up with them because I already know what I'm doing, right? So I want them to learn exactly what I'm doing, and we're going to do all this in a matter of an hour. We're going to get to know each other. We're going to become friends. We're going to download the forms. We're going to stay engaged. We're going to do the mentorship, and we're going to duplicate that through them so that way they can start and continue to do exactly the same thing, which is the 7 skills of a professional in our industry. So this is skill number 6 right here, helping our agents become involved with your building a relationship with you, rapport, activating services as well, right? We're going to show them how to activate their own personal services, the benefits of knowing of all the perks that they can qualify for by activating the services, becoming a product of the product, so they can learn to easily sell it to their customers, easily sell it to their agents, get them involved, show them the benefits of what we have. This is to me a time well invested with my direct agents, okay? Because if I train my direct agents with everything they need to know, they're going to simplify my job. That's why we do it. We got systems, yes, of course, but we still have to have that connection of establishing a relationship. So when we do that, we do it with 5, all right? The goal is to get you to achieve 5 as fast as yesterday. So agents, 5 teams times 6 levels, all right? So at the beginning, it's going to be a combination of agents and customers to be able to get your first 5. As you can see here in the top, right? 5 free services, your field trainer level, and your first profit of $320 potential of earnings in return. So once you're able to do 5 yourself and achieve your field trainer positions, free services that you don't have to pay for anymore, now you're going to duplicate that. I want you to see how you start to duplicate the process when you train yourself right. So this is a scenario of potential of earnings. So that's 5 that you're going to teach exactly the same thing. They're going to teach their 5. So everybody's only bringing 5 leaders, okay? Now to find the leaders, this is the way to do it, which is what we're teaching you today. The mathematical numbers are perfect. We're the ones that need to fine-tune ourselves to be able to match things up to the potential of exploding our organization. So 5 times 5 is 25. Times 5 is 125, times 5 is 625, times 5 is 3,125, times 5 is 15,625. Before you know it, by training your leaders right, you can multiply yourself a lot quicker. If nobody's getting trained, the multiplication will never happen because most people are not going to know what to do. So in true reality, how many agents are going to get trained? It's hard to say, but a lot of agents get started and they don't do things appropriately, or they don't get recruited properly. That's why we're not able to find the leaders as fast enough, because we recruit. However, right, we have to recruit systematically, which is prospecting properly, inviting properly, presenting properly, following up properly, closing the transaction properly, because you got to train your agent and you need to train your customers as well. So there's 2 responsibilities that you have of training agents and training customers, so they can refer other people and you can start to multiply your numbers and get to your income. $75,000 per month, $7,500 per month, Spanish, as you can see, or $750. That's the difference between somebody that gets trained and somebody that doesn't get trained. The more you pay attention to the training platform of what we have, the greater chances you'll have of achieving great success. So helping prospects become clients and agents, this is how you do it. Remember, 6 is teaching your agent to do it right. You got to get them reading books. I already talked about How to Master the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins, Eric Worre, Gold Pro, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. These are the first books you should invest your time and money into. 20 minutes, How to Master the Art of Selling, reading every day 20 minutes. Another 20 minutes, Eric Worre. Another 20 minutes, Think and Grow Rich. 3 books in 1 hour. that you could put your time into, I can assure you, you're going to change your thinking. You're going to change the way you talk to people. You're going to feel so confident. You can even go to your YouTube and study the materials of all these great leaders that we are referring you to by reading their materials. It's not just about listening to them, but read and read out loud. So these are the books that I would suggest that you guys put your dollars out and your time in to be able to get so much in return to become a master professional in the industry. So the last is promoting the events. This is where everything happens. This is where the 5 times 5 it turns into 25, 125, and so on and so forth, promoting live events. So what you want to do is you want to be able to see your growth, see who's committed and who's not committed on live and online trainings, Zoom business launch, and make sure everyone plugs in every time. So anytime we do have events, we like to see who's participating. But again, if you train your agents well to be able to do this, to be able to master these 7 skills, you're going to see how your business will explode through the roof. It'll make your job a lot easier to be able to enjoy your time freedom. So wrapping up here with prospecting, inviting prospects, presenting to prospects, following up with prospects, helping prospects become clients and agents, duplicating with new agent, getting started right, and promoting all events with your team is the name of this game. And you need 5 teams and 1 leader in each team that knows how to do this. And if they know how to do this, your job is done as their mentor and their leader, and your business will just skyrocket. It'll explode to millions of dollars a month. You don't have to find 5,000. You don't have to find 500. You don't need to find 50. All you need to find is 5, 1 in each team, to achieve wealth in our industry. All right. So to wrap up here, is the real deal is always going to win at the end. No matter what, the real deal always wins at the end. Why? Because you're going to expose this business to so many people, and you're going to find so many people that are not going to be truthful to themselves, not to you. They're going to disrespect their goals. They're going to disrespect their dreams by not being committed, by not showing up, by not being people of their word. So the real deal is always going to win in the end. If you give it 5 years of determined focus, you're going to win. No distractions, transitionally walking away from the things that deviate you from making an incredible lifestyle in our industry. But guys, I hope this has been helpful to you. We're doing this from the bottom of our heart. We're pouring out to you. Make the best of this video and change your life, and do it today. All right. So we'll see you guys in the events of our company. All of us achieving our financial goals and dreams. Blessings to you. Your friend here, Fernando Ramirez, bilingual entrepreneur, empowering diversity.